Today, I'm very excited to bring to you Prashant Trivedi, who is a world renowned Vedic astrologer, and he's going to be sharing with us his insights on the 2024 Vedic astrological transits. If you're unaware of Prashant and his work, he wrote a groundbreaking book called The 27 Celestial Portals. It is by far the most in depth nakshatra book I have ever read in my life. So without further ado, I bring to you Prashant Trivedi. So here we are, 2024, and I know most of you, and myself included, are just waiting to see what this energy will unfold for us. And I'm so happy to have Prashant Trivedi from Lotus Ocean to help illuminate us in how to properly navigate these energies. So Prashant, I would love to know, what are your thoughts about Saturn transiting through Aquarius this year?
Right. So the thing was with Saturn is that it has been going in Aquarius for the last year also. It was in 23 also going through. Now it is going through another aspect of Aquarius, but the basic point remains the same. Groups getting together, communities around the world getting together, technology moving faster forward, like quick movements in technology, fast developments. Okay, very fast developments. Okay. And all of the Aquarian things, the way of what that sign, concretizing around the earth, and a lot of these things, when they concretize, people won't see them right now necessarily this year or next year. The effect of that will happen over many years, like 15, 20 years. Okay, for people, for the masses to see that what has actually happened. It will happen now, but the effects, how masses will feel, and the whole thing will take time for people to really comprehend that this has happened and this Aquarian wave has actually happened. So it'll be happening now, but like people should not expect like that they get to see it all like right in front of their eyes straight away this year. Okay.
Yes, yeah, and I think too with the AI becoming more prominent, and
Yeah.
I'll leave a link below for those of you if you want to see Prashant's other interview talking about AI. And I
Yeah.
just wanted to bring in really quickly, Prashant,
Yeah.
it's so comforting hearing, because so many people are talking about doomsday and AI is dangerous and this and that, and
Yeah.
it's really simple. If it's how we use it, and at the end of the day, you just disconnect it. It needs electricity to run. So it
Yeah.
puts all of this kind of fear on
Fear.
AI, I feel like is irrelevant.
Yeah, technology is a neutral sort of thing, actually. Like, and again, the direction even of technology is a neutral sort of thing. Depends on the people who are guiding it in charge. Everything depends on that, actually. So, so that's what this time also everything will depend on that. It's not the technology which will be at the fault. It'll be, the users. And so they will be wrong users, and then it'll get to a correct use. So both things are possible. So but the thing has to unfold in time. Like I said, it'll take a while to unfold, you know, even though the things are happening very fast in the present. So, yeah.
And Jupiter, as we see in 2023, was in Aries, which can
Yes.
take war, and definitely that was breaking out. And in
Yeah.
May of this year, it's finally going to be entering into Taurus. And what are your
Yes.
thoughts on that?
First, Jupiter in Aries, energy is still going for a bit. So what that means is like people have to understand their own action. Okay. Aries is yourself, your own thing. And Jupiter is saying that you have to look at your own action, your own personal action still, getting your own act together, doing the right action by yourself. Okay. For everyone. Okay. But the same Jupiter on a world level will show people who are more in terms of religions, quote unquote religions, an Aries, Mars. So there can be more war in terms of what we now know as religions, right? Like, so that kind of thing will go more as well still. Okay. It'll sort of explode more. So there's a transformation on a personal level for beings who are serious and sincere. Okay. Okay. And on a worldwide level, there is that. So both things are happening simultaneously in Jupiter and Aries. Now we suddenly move to Taurus. Now the wisdom aspect will move to Earth. Okay, which will be organic farming, self-sustaining things, how to farm, how to treat the earth, what kind of attitude we should have towards the earth, and all of that will come into play once Jupiter enters Taurus. Okay, okay. At the same time, those wars which were happening more on a first, like, like people are just shouting at each other, you know, will reach actual concretization, that it can start happening on a physical plane. Okay. So both things happen again simultaneously, you know. So for the transformation people, the next step is there to apply it to earth, apply it to all those things, how to live in harmony with earth, and all of that will take precedence. So both things will happen, and concretization the other way as well, because it has come down to earth level now. So it'll not just be finger pointing, it'll be actual more war on earth ground level. So
Oh, wow. Do you
yeah.
think this war is going to be combative like in previous wars, or do you think it will be far more technological?
The thing is, technologies are always use whatever people have at that time in any war, so whatever is there is used. So that's going to happen now too, and that is just going to continue. We are just in that war anyways, in a way, since 2020. Okay, so it's just a continuation, actually. And people should just see that this will be a continuation still. And these are the things which even all people will be able to see, because all the news comes and stuff, people are able to see these things. So that will be there for everyone to see. Yes.
Mm. And
Yes.
on a bit more positive note, would you say that this includes focusing more on the living environment as well? With the organic farming and also the type of environment that we create for ourselves?
Yeah. Yes, it is to do with everything. Living in harmony with the earth, then earth is our environment. Actually, always, wherever you are, that part of earth is your environment, and how to live in harmony with that particular environment. The wisdom of that, that will be there. So for the people who are conscious, that will be the reality. Okay. And for people who decide not to be conscious, some other kind of things will be reality, which I already said, like, which the media is there to show everyone anyways. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
that could include, making a move if you're not in resonant with your environment, if it's, let's say, like a concrete jungle or something, and those
Yeah.
your values are just becoming more wanting to be in
Yes.
tune with the earth, and that, so probably some shifts around the home will have to take place.
Yes. And like the whole organic farming thing will grow all over the earth, everywhere, in every continent and everything. That is just gonna, like, that is gonna be seen everywhere. Like, that, like, right now in some countries only people saw that was happening. Now it will happen over all across the earth,
That's
basically.
wonderful. That's so important too, because they can cut the supply chains for food, and that really leaves being so powerless. I feel like it's important to have that in their hands and in their possession, and to have
Yeah.
access to their
Yeah,
food.
obviously that understanding will dawn
Yeah.
on the conscious, and that's where all that movement will take place. you know it's already happening, and it's going to gain momentum this year.
Mm.
Yeah.
Moving on to Rahu and Ketu. At the end of last year, they switched signs from Aries Libra axis to the Pisces Virgo axis. And there's going to be an eclipse happening April 8th in
Yeah.
Revati Nakshatra, as well as
Yeah.
October 14th in Hasta Nakshatra.
Right.
What do you think the significance of this
Okay.
is?
Okay. So first, Pisces and Virgo. Okay. Now Pisces is seas, the oceans, right? So there will be problems in transportation
Mm.
across the oceans. That's where most of our goods still are transported over the oceans on Earth. Okay. So there'll be problems in that. Okay. And Virgo is the markets, all of that financial markets and all of this trade and all of this thing. Okay, so both things are going to get affected negatively. Okay, here. And since the eclipse is in Revati, which is movement of goods, okay, and the safety of it, the safety of the movement will be jeopardized. So, and accordingly, Hasta, stock markets, and all those things, the markets basically will have an effect. So you can see major fluctuations in the markets, the financial markets, okay, on Earth, Jim saying. So that's, yeah.
Does this have to do with BRICS that's being rolled in?
That is part of it, but there are other things happening, like whether the trade routes are not going to be that secure once all these conflicts start.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then everybody has to change where they get things from and where can't, like, and if you have to go longer routes, then the prices increase of the goods and everything, everything, transportation is everything. It can affect everything on Earth, basically. Like modern world is based on transportation and a seamless transportation of goods from one part of the world to the other. Okay. And when that gets affected, that affects everything. Everything means everything, but especially the financial markets and all of that. And that's the economies and all of that. So that's where the whole concentration of this Rahu Ketu is. And obviously natural disasters and stuff can come from water and earth both.
I was going to ask you that, yeah, when you were talking about the oceans and the disruption, is this going to be solely man-made disruption, or is this going to be natural weather disruption?
Natural. There's man-made part is the transportation bit, and all of that, but then the natural disasters which have been happening now will take more ground in that way. Like when first earthquake in Japan came in beginning of this year, it was earth thing, but then people were afraid of the tsunami, the ocean coming. So it happened in Virgo land, like, and then you are fearing the Pisces, so the Virgo Pisces sort of axis was like that, so.
And just to give a quick brief for those of you who are under this kind of illusion that the climate is changing due to cow farts and man-made climate change, Prashant has such an illuminating view, which has to do that the weather is connected. Like, we are fractal beings, so because beings are so out of balance, it's being reflected in the weather.
Yeah, so nature is a force along with divine. So nature and divine are connected forces. And whenever human beings are not being in tune with nature and divine, then things on earth change, which will change in terms of weather, more natural disasters, famines, all kinds of, or to floods, things are not in balance means like either it rains too much, then it's flood, doesn't rain enough, it's famine. Okay, so all of that is nothing. Man is not controlling any of that. Okay, there's no that things which are controlling any of this. Is just humans not being in sync with how to live on earth and how to be on earth, and a result of that as a whole. So you can do that from your side, but the result is not in human hands. So these things are not in human hands, even though a lot of people will try and say that these are things done by the government or whatever and stuff like that, but it's not. There's no human hand involved in any of these things. So it's just, and they are like a warning anyways, first, for humans to change their ways. So accordingly, things happen. As much as humans change their way, as less the destruction would be. As much as they carry on going on that direction, more the destruction would be. So it's just a process, which is in process, and, so it's not a matter of prediction. It's a matter of warning, and then people to change their ways right now, which is in the present, so the change in the present will change the future, basically, of what will happen to humankind on earth, basically.
And do you see that there's a special kind of spiritual energies that are going to be coming in this year, perhaps through the Pisces Virgo axis or any other major transit?
I mean, that is a spiritual energy only. Warning is a spiritual energy,
Oh.
right? You have to see it as a spiritual energy because that's what is creating the change. It's forcing the change. It's making things understood on a practical level, from a spirit level to a practical earthly level. That transmission is, so that is the thing, actually. That's where the spiritual energy would be at work via nature.
Mm,
Yeah. So,
beautiful. I hope you found today's interview illuminating and will use this knowledge to guide your path forward this new year. I ask if you enjoyed this video and received value from it to help support the channel by leaving a like, by sharing, and by donating. If you've noticed, none of my videos are monetized, and that is because I choose not to partner with YouTube as they force you to sign a contract with the IRS for tax withholding. And as self-governed men and women on the land, we can choose what contracts we do and do not want to go into. So for that reason, this channel is dependent upon donations from the subscribers who receive benefit from my content. I'm wishing you all a wonderful 2024. And yes, the energy is getting cranked up. I can feel it too in my own life. And I want you to know that you're not alone, that we all have our struggles, and that as long as we stay focused on our evolution, on raising our consciousness, on bringing more love and kindness and community to the world and to ourselves, we will make it through any adversity. Sending you all a warm hug, and I'll see you in the next one.